When Luis Enrique was fired from the Spanish national team, the football world expected someone famous, a big name to take over as the team's coach, someone with at least one Champions League title. But that's not what happened. Instead, the Spanish Federation chose a man that most fans outside of Spain didn't know. Luis de la Fuente, a discreet coach who never managed a European giant. He stayed far from the spotlight. And where is he now? He put Spain at the top of the world once again, about to win their second world championship. But first, let's find out how this story began. The big secret of the Spanish coach isn't revolutionary tactics, it's his connection with the players. Luis de la Fuente was the coach of Spain's under-19 national team in 2013. Then he went on to coach the under-21 team until he also took charge of the under-23 team at the Olympics, where he won a silver medal. Just think about the stars, who amaze the world today wearing Spain's senior shirt. Luis de la Fuente has seen almost all of them since they were kids. He polished Rodri's talent, shaped the midfield with Fabian Ruiz, and gave the first international opportunities to Oyarzabal and also Dani Olmo. He didn't just coach these players, he helped develop their mentality, character, and of course their football from the youth teams all the way to the senior national team. In other words, when these boys moved up to the professional level, they didn't need to adapt. They knew exactly what the coach wanted. By the way, Spain used the same formula that helped Argentina win their third World Cup title. In 2018 in Russia, Jorge Sampaoli was the coach of Argentina, but he ended up being fired and Lionel Scaloni took over, who is still there today trying for his second consecutive title. Spain is following the same path with Luis de la Fuente. Before taking over the Spanish national team, De La Fuente's career as a coach was modest. He coached Alaves, he coached Athletic Bilbao, which is a big club, but it's not on that top shelf of European football. He didn't have to deal with pressure, with million-dollar signings. As has already been said, De La Fuente never coached a European giant. That's why when he was announced as the head coach of the national team, there was a lot of skepticism. But Luis had an advantage over all the other coaches in the world. He knew the structure of Spanish football like the back of his hand. He adapted Spain's style of play, turning that sterile passing game into a slightly more vertical style of play, giving more opportunities for young players to emerge. In other words, he had the courage to bet on the youngsters and give them the spotlight. And what was the result of this work? A spot in the World Cup final. And the players' embrace of their coach makes it clear. They play for him. Those boys he watched grow up are now men, world-class stars, ready to give everything for their coach who believed in their talent when no one even knew who they were. Luis de la Fuente proved that football isn't just about big names and astronomical salaries. It's about patience, process, and trust. De la Fuente stepped out of the youth team's shadow to make history in world football. But I ask you, what about the Brazilian national team with Carlo Ancelotti? Will there be this kind of process? Will it work out? Will Brazil win its 6th World Cup title in 2030? We'll only know the answer when the time comes. Did you like this video? Leave a like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and see you next time. Thanks.